Educate our sons to me. I always thought Rage Against the Machine would do a pretty good version of Euthanasia by Megadeth. Kind of ragey riff, flailing solo. Be cool to speed it up. Know your enemy. That's what this video is about. Know your enemy. I made a few videos already online on YouTube here saying about my enemies, about how you have to appreciate and understand your enemies. You know, I don't lose at risk. You know, I'm very Taoist and very passive and very tough person. But I fight with understanding. But anyway, if you educate your enemy enough sufficiently, they will only want what's in their own interest and for goodness sake, and they won't be enemies anymore. And this is always achievable. This understanding, this mutual understanding is always achievable. If your politicians don't achieve this, they're not good politicians, and you hire new ones. Yes, I know you're in. I made a few videos online, like saying most of these rich people never went to a playground, you know, a public playground. They never were bullied or kicked a bully in the shin, or they never had to do this, and they still carry on a lot of these immaturities that you would find in a playground, typically find in a playground. You know, lying to the teacher or snitching to the teacher or all this kind of stuff. And you know, I made another one saying they're also very, and most probably like raised like Spartans. You know what I mean? They don't know their mothers so much, and they keep them only like masculine, apex predator from Florida. And mothers always tell you you're the best boy. You know, like I have a grandmother that does this to my nephew, and he is. You know, but the mums, oh, you're the best boy. You're the best. So they never had this, and they go around the world desperately seeking it. Not attention, but approval. You know what I mean? You're the best at everything, the best at this, and the best at that, and they must recognize because they never had the recognition that they had from their parents. So know your enemy. My enemies, you know, it's very predictable, and it's just conundrums, and it's you know, predicament, and it's very obvious and likely people are going to exploit somebody of high potential exploitation. They've basically fallen into a trap kind of thing, and they don't want you to know that, and they're going to desperately keep themselves in this trap rather than it be revealed. It's very adulterous, and God knows. But you know, some kid, and they think stars are worth a lot, and they suddenly find some kid who has like 1,400 stars, and like that's freakishly weird. Some people might have a star. You get a star, maybe Christianity, you have a star here or there. You might get some stars in your life. Here's some stars in your ear and some stripes, you know what I mean? And they find this kid with like 1,400 stars, and they put a price tag on stars that were like, yeah, anywhere between 1.2 billion to like, you know, trillions of stars. And I had like 1,400 of these. So it's very super, like, you know, I think Iran have troubles, or the communism, you know what I mean? I had a lot of troubles, and I had a lot of attention in life. So, yeah, they've fallen into a trap, basically. They've done what most people probably would do. That's why they're saying, what would Jesus do? Because Jesus didn't do this, but what would, you know, most people do? You're probably going to now. You find a massive big mountain of gold. You're going to want to try and take and secure and covet the gold, aren't you? Claim it's all yours. So they've done this anyway, and they've fallen into a trap because the trap is very kind of religious and pertaining to adultery. Only the gospel truth will set you free. Only the truth of the matter, and nothing else will do except the truth. This way he's all do this Jesus thing, and he's all accept the truth of the matter, and nothing else will do. So this is where, like, you know, people that went into dark ages and bad times were dragged down into perdition. the people who made the same greedy mistake. Like, it's kind of like Aladdin's cave, you know, a poo and his big monkey, and it's very appealing. There's loads of gold and massive, lovely things around you, but then you get the genie, and the thing was to do what's best for the genie in the end. You know, very poetry about it all. But so yeah, like, you know, they don't want the other people around them to know what they've done, because there's a lot of them, you know. Like, every country has got politicians that have shared in my wife or wealth or stars, and they've all had a bit of it. So much to the point that they've been trying to get everybody involved, you know, so everybody's going down. Or I notice this, they make general chaos to hide their particular or original chaos. So if they say, oh, everybody's, which is great for me, you know, there's so much torment there, everyone's just doing it now. So they're going to conceal their lies desperately, and this will drag you into holy perdition, because they just don't want to face the music. If anyone's hearing music, we're hearing some flutes, we're hearing some things. And they will conceal it. They probably will conceal it like they did for 500 years after Jesus. Excuse me, mention his name a bit. And then they started getting the Gospels, and then they started really getting the Gospels and the soup into them when there was no sun in the sky and there was raining blood. I love that tune. And all your kids were deformed and nameless or stillborn. And then they did mine for this arbitrary knowledge of which gypsy was the gypsy king. It's the gypsy king. If you'd like to flatter me and amuse me, and let me reassure you, you do. I need an acronym, a somewhat Latin acronym for IWIN. That's kind of like I or NI, or I or NI. Is it? Is it Rexus? I can't remember. I'm not great at Latin. You might even tell me there's no W in Latin, John. You know what I mean? I need an acronym there for IWIN. I'll give you like a handsome 10 million or something like this for a good acronym. You need to know a little bit about some nice acronym for IWIN. That's the great thing about the Gospels. So yeah, what do I know about them? Other that there's mean old men that didn't have a mommy or a natural life. You're desperately concealing it, and I don't have to tell you, it's trailing off. They kill things constantly to conceal this, you know. They're constantly killing stuff, women, cattle and stuff, to conceal this. It's gonna keep going until it's revealed. And it must be revealed, you know. And you're bald, remember, you're bald. I think that's why the Vatican I saw in the movie when they write the name on the balls, and they're all spinning the balls around, to remind all the high bishops that, like, whoever you choose as your pontiff is going to be written on your sperm. So to remind you, you're writing this person on your sperm and your future and your body. And that's probably why they write it on the balls. You see in the movie. But there's football on, you know what I mean? There's football on. So yeah, dragging news into holy perdition. Anti-prophet, gypsy. Scum goes to the top, you know, that's why it's called scum, because it's found at the very top. See, there's always like a scum. You can make an acronym as well for SCUM, like a secret criminal undermining majority. For people that are like Ireland is clearly scum, right? We were right at the top. We were very wealthy for no good reason. So it was like some international criminal assets bureau. They were like, "Hey Ireland, why are you so fucking wealthy?" Excuse me for the ransom. get a lot of mileage out of 30 pieces of silver back then, and I'm like, it's a lifetime of servitude if you have a slave, so I would get it with lots of money out of it. You can, anyway,